Hi guys, this is Megan with Rise Sports, and I'm out here in Park City, Utah, working with some of our national level US skiers and snowboarders. But you guys have been sending in so many great questions that I wanted to make sure that we get some of them answered for you. So I'm going to go through three of kind of the most popular questions that we've gotten in so far. And the first one is about eating out. So when you're on the road or maybe at home and it's a challenge to cook for yourself or you don't have the time to do it, what are some good options or good alternatives to eating out? And the specific example was for Chipotle, which is one of my personal favorites. And the reason that I really like an idea like Chipotle or even a chain restaurant like Subway is that you can go through the line and really pick and choose and customize your meals. So I agree that number one ideal is to be able to go home, cook for yourself, have total control over what you're eating. But if you do have to eat out, choosing a restaurant like Chipotle or Subway where you can pick and choose to get a whole grain option versus maybe a white rice or a white bread option is usually helpful to get some more of that good carbohydrate in so you can fuel your workouts. You can always pick lean proteins from those places like a chicken or fish or a lean red meat option. Never a bad idea to include more fruits and vegetables, so if you can get a side salad at a restaurant or even just ask for more veggies on your sandwich or whatever meal you're ordering, really great options. And so best part about eating out is try to make sure you can choose a place where you can really customize what you want, because if you're trying to reach a goal and you're out with your teammate after practice who's reaching a different goal, you guys should both be able to achieve what you want from that meal. So going to a place where you can go through the line and kind of pick and choose and really make sure it's what you need for nutrition, recovery, or before a game is really important. The second question is about energy drinks before games, which I know is a really popular habit and certainly something that sometimes you have to do, but it's not something that I'd recommend getting in the kind of usual habit of doing all the time. So a lot of energy drinks have a lot of different chemicals and different substances in them that maybe we can't regulate or know how they affect our body yet. So that's kind of one safety reason to not use it. But also, if you're not always going to be able to have the energy drink, you don't want to rely on a supplement or a drink to make sure that you're high energy and you're ready to go for that game. So I really like to work with people kind of on figuring out what type of foods they like to eat or snacks and having at least three options that they can kind of rotate between, and they know that when I eat that, my stomach feels good, I still have high energy, and I can also last that energy all the way through the game or the practice. Because sometimes with energy drinks, you'll get a big spike of energy at the top when you first take it, and then it'll start to drop off a little bit. So I really like relying on whole food options a little bit more for that. And our third question comes from a little bit of idea of trying to figure out how you eat well throughout the entire school day. So you've got a game at the end of the school day, but you're waking up really early to go to class. You're kind of in school focusing on that. So how do I eat properly all day long at school to make sure that I'm not tired and I have enough energy to get through a game at the end of the school day? And for this one, it's really important just to kind of plan ahead. And what I usually work with athletes on is working backwards from the time of that start game. So maybe you've got a 4 p.m. game and you know that you'll start warm up at 3 p.m. after school. So starting from 3 p.m., what's the soonest time or the most comfortable time that you feel eating before to make sure that you've got enough energy, you're well hydrated, and you feel like you can go through the warm-up. By the time you start the game, you still got plenty of energy and you can make it to the end of the game. So that's the first step, kind of work backwards to that first meal that you would want to eat before the practice or before the game. And then work about 3 to 4 hours before that to your meal previous. So that would probably be your lunchtime. And maybe depending on how your schedule works at school, it would be more of a snack than a lunchtime. But again, that's kind of why we plan ahead and we think about it early on. So you want to figure out when you're going to have that next meal and then probably factor in either a snack or a breakfast before that as well. So we kind of work backwards, we figure out that skeleton of that timeline of when you're going to eat, and then we really just want to focus in on getting really healthy carbohydrates, plenty of fruits and vegetables because those are going to be super helpful to keeping you healthy, especially in the middle of the season, and then hydration. Those are the top three things that we look at on the day of a game. So especially for hydration, you want to make sure that you're drinking all the way throughout the day. So from the morning time up until the time that you're going to play, or even just start that warm up, you want to make sure that you're hydrating gradually so that you have enough fluids in your system by the time that you get to the game and you're not trying to rush it in. because you really can't catch up on hydration once you're in the middle of a training or a game situation. And carbohydrates are the next highest priority on that, just because they're the number one source of fuel that you're using. So during the day, sticking to a little bit more higher fiber or whole grain carbohydrates, like having whole wheat bread on your sandwich or having oatmeal or cereal for breakfast. Great options. And then fruit is another really good option for that. And then as you get closer to the game, it's okay to include a few more kind of quick digesting carbohydrates. So in that meal or that snack that you'd have at the end of the day, or kind of in the last period of the class before you're going to go into getting geared up to go into the warm-up period, you'd want to have something that's a little bit easier to digest, like applesauce or orange juice or fresh fruit. Those are all really great things for the stomach. Usually doesn't upset your stomach, and they also provide a lot of quick carbohydrates, so you've got that good burst of energy at the end of the day. If you guys have more questions, definitely keep sending them along, because I love answering them and happy to help you guys with what I can. So good luck, good fueling.